Oh, howdy, Michael Jadoka and Mr. Banjo. How's it going? Just playing on some of these Blackfire harps I just got in, getting acquainted with them. There's a couple of tunings that I really enjoy. The A sharp is what I've been playing here in the Blackfire. And the D, and there's also a D sharp floating around here. Really dig this D. It's got a bent trigger, but I really do like it. Oh, thank you, Mr. Banjo. Just playing along. What's your playing style? There, I was just doing some inward and outward breathing, some hollow noises, and I was pressing forward on the reed just a little bit to offset the reed from the decks to give it that draw start and give it a little bit of sustain. I was. And I'm plucking, and then I'm pressing forward on the back of the reed just a little bit to offset it and draw starting it. But I'm not actually starting it because it's already going, but you can do the same technique without hitting it if you press forward on the reed a little bit. I've been practicing since the last live stream. Oh, cool, Banks Bullard. Always good to be practicing. Canadian jaw harp is down. Oh, you got your Pavel Pokin harp yesterday. How do you like it? Yeah, these harps, more you play them, the really, really easy to draw start with thumb on the back. I wonder where I put my D sharp one. It's floating around here somewhere. Or maybe I'll just grab a random harp. I haven't played a lot of them in depth. There's a D. He said it's awesome as a bent troop instead of looped. Oh, really? The Pokins I've seen before, they have little teeny loops, so they probably come in all variations of that. But for like $7, really good bang for the buck. Hard to find. It's really hard to find harps in, you know, the $5 to $10 range that are even worth anything. But the Pokins, for $6 or $7, I think shipped it might be 10. You can even get them, I think, off Amazon from Overton. $10 for one of these Pokins, a little carrying case. And down in that price range, there's really not a lot of decent harps there, but the Pokin has decent playability for being down there. But yeah, very good buy on those. And I kind of sound like a commercial for Pavel Pokins, but I'm not. Quick question: does the size of the reed determine the key and the pitch in the harp plays? Yeah, it's the width of the reed combined by the taper of it. The more thickness you have on the back of the reed will also affect the tuning a little bit as well, but mainly it's length and taper and the amount of weight. Let's just take a look at how Szilagyi tunes his. His he does with bent triggers, and then he adds a solder ball to the tip of the trigger and also to the inside, and then he files off of the inside of there to reduce the weight. So by adding weight to the end of the trigger, we're slowing down the way the reed vibrates, and it's creating a lower note. If we remove a little bit of weight or decrease the leverage that the reed has against there, it'll bring the tone up. So you can actually add solder or whatever, and then take a little bit off to bring your tone back up to hit your note. And I think that's how he tunes most of them. Some of them don't have solder pieces on there, probably because he landed, you know, right on the note. And in making harps, that brings up another good item of note. When I first started making harps, I was trying to figure out how to get the tones right. And you can actually, if I were to cut this reed a little bit shorter, or loop the tip of the trigger in a different fashion, like with a ball that has more leverage pulling outward on the reed, it would result in a lower tone. Canadian jaw harp says I like to play the harp slowly. And yeah, it is fun to get going slow and find yourself a rhythm, then just take off on it. Kind of lost the rhythm there. Well, that was... Took me a second to find the rhythm, but when I found it, I really got lost in it. It's about time for a sip of beer and a little bit of mouth bow. And I've been playing it as of late. It came with this little stick, but I've been playing it with a Corinding, or maybe this is the Hone Tongue. This little bamboo harp seems to bounce really nicely on it. No, it's 87 right now here in Texas, Michael Jadoka says. Yeah, it's still warm for how late it is. It was hot like 2 weeks ago. He's getting up in the 105, 108 degrees during the day, but now during the day it's been 70, 80, 90 degrees a day. Not too bad here in Kansas. Canadian Jaw Harper Stan says, "What? I have a joke for you. What does the shark play before he hunts?" The Jaws harp. I like that. Yeah, better put that harp down. Tried to play the theme from Jaws, but to little success. Always gnarly with the mouth harp or the mouth bow. I even like saying it, mouth bow. Let's see, this harp in H, which I think is it A sharp? No, B sharp. Solagi labels them weird. He has harps that are in H, and maybe it's B sharp, but can't remember which one the H one is, but he has a secret way of doing that. That hardly have played this harp at all. With the 13 harps, there's like 3 or 4 of them I've been hammering on quite a bit, but a lot of these tunings I really haven't gotten acquainted yet with. Oh, I haven't played that one a whole lot at all, but real super easy to get lost in that one, the H, or that B sharp. Play one more harp here, just random from the pile, an F. Give this one a try. My favorite jaw harp player, I missed the comment, I wasn't quick enough. I wonder what kind of a song this one wants to sing. Let's try again here. Canadian jaw harp stances sounds like techno music a bit. Yeah, it kind of does. This harp, at first I couldn't find a rhythm with this harp, and I'm like, my old songs probably aren't going to work very well on this harp. I'll just come up with something a little bit different. That's what I came up with, just a nice swinging. Yeah, it has a little bit of outer spacey sound to it, and I think it's due, there's an imperfection, a nick right here on the back of the harp, where something in manufacturing must have went up against it. It's kind of a little bit sharp. Every time I wipe it off, it'll tear a little bit of a paper towel off, but I think that is contributing to the outer spacey sound. And there I'm just holding the tip of my tongue. I'm holding it just kind of in the center of my mouth up against my teeth, and then I'm cupping my tongue in a bowl shape and sending air down around the sides. If you were to just tongue right in the middle, resting up against the teeth, and letting the air come down and around. And all I'm doing is with a little bit of breath, a little bit of throat noises also, just with minor tongue movements. Yeah, I guess it does sound a little bit like a didgeridoo. The harp has a metallic robot sound. Yeah, I think it's because of that imperfection a lot of the times when something's a little bit uneven or something's a little bit crooked. They're a little chunk. You can just barely, let's see if I can get it to focus in on there. It's right here. Yeah, it's a fail, but that's right there. You can kind of see. Oh, I know what. I'll grab some more light here. Try not to step on Mr. Pinnacle. Had the lights turned around the other way because I was building earlier. I got 5 harps. I got to get finished up yet this evening and adjusted tomorrow. But let's see if we can get an eye on this. No, we're not gonna get good light on it. Yeah, it's just right there. Let's grab another random tuning. I'm playing harps that I haven't played a whole bunch, and I'm not well acquainted with the tones, so don't have songs for them, so I'll just do some playing and see what happens. We're going up in tone here. If that's a maybe, it's a guess. He says, love the didge. Jamie is... Oh. This starts very, very springy. No solder at all on the tip of there, just a nice little bent trigger. Sometimes if a bent trigger is done right, it can be really, really nice. Have to find where it's at there. There she is. Kind of wants to be played like a Morchang a little bit. Oh yes, about live stream from the YouTube app. Go to your home, and then you'll see the icon that looks like a video camera. Click on that and it'll give you a couple different options on whether you're going to upload one of your videos or go live. Hit go live and it'll walk you through step by step. You'll be putting a title on your live video, and then your camera will do a countdown and it will snap a screenshot of you that you can, stage a screenshot for your live thing, because you don't want to just leave your thumbnail on your live video up to chance. If you weren't ready for the camera to be snapped and you have your mouth open and one eye half open, that's probably not the best thumbnail. So yeah, just go ahead and take the time when you go live to stage yourself a photo of you doing something that's going to express what you're going to do in your live video. But yeah, that's how I got to that. One day I didn't even really know how to go live before. It was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and my YouTube app posted a little thing. Oh, try out going live. Like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and give that a try. And a lot of fun. I do really enjoy the YouTube live stuff. It kind of puts you out there too, being live. It's not like a video where if you make a mistake or aren't playing well, there's no way to cover that up. Live, you just got to go with the flow while you're live. That's the alarm going off for the harps. The thumbnail thing will be hard for me. Oh, yeah. Then just whenever he posted that the thumbnail thing will be hard for you because you're blind. Yeah, I guess just let it take a picture and then it's gonna work. Interesting thing to bring up. I've never I've really thought about that before. Okay, got a ton of comments coming. What's a good beginner harp with a good prize? Oh, cool. Use the screen builder. Oh, what is a good beginner harp? We got a whole bunch of comments down there. I'm just trying to read them all. Good harp for beginners, I think, is if you're looking for the cheapest possible harp that's playable and that you're going to get good play out of and decent sound and be a harp that you can kind of grow into a little bit. Pavel Pokin on Oberton Pro. You can go directly to their Russian website. They've got it on there for like $6. Amazon has it through Oberton Pro as well. I think it's like $7, $10 you get a case. And it down in this price range, there's really not much that's good. Like you have the Grover Alto Austrian jaw harp. Absolute would not buy unless that's your only option for a harp. Yeah, like Hobby Lobby mouth harps are about $7, $8. The reed's really stiff. This is actually the harp I started out on, but I don't play it a lot anymore because it doesn't. The reed is very, very stiff. The gaps are big, and well, they're tighter than the Grover Alto Austrian. Yeah, the Hobby Lobby mouth harp. The reed is just too stiff and too thick to be flexible well. But yeah, this is the harp I spent a lot of time playing and learning the basics of my techniques. And you can do some techniques on there, but not a lot. But the Pavel Pokin's right down there in that price range, and it's a little shrill but loud. Responds decently to breath and breathing. Other toy harps, almost nothing. Grover Alto, almost nothing as well. But for the amount you pay for Pavel Pokins, they're a good beginner harp. They will kind of, if your hands aren't used to gripping something tiny like this, it may fatigue your hands a little bit. You might want to go, if you have weak hands, say you're getting up there in age, if you have arthritis or something, you might get a harp that's a little bit bigger, like a Szilagyi Chancellor, which is quite a bit of a step up for like $25-30. It's quite a bit of a step up from a Pavel Pokin. Really easy. That Austrian pattern's easy for people to hold because it's bigger. And I spent a ton of time. This was the Chancellor. This is a Szilagyi Chancellor in D. Was the first harp I bought after my toy harp, and I spent a ton of time in my bathroom in front of my mirror playing this harp, and I do still play it from time to time because it plays well, it responds well to breath and breathing. It's loud, it has a pretty good sound. One thing that the Pavel Pokin might have an edge in is you can play a lot faster. The Szilagyi Chancellor, you can get it moving, but it's hard to do a lot faster like the Pokin, but a little bit better sound and plays a little bit better as well. But as a beginner, it might have a little bit steeper of a learning curve. A lot of people, I've recommended this harp to a lot of people, and they've been able to learn on it no problem. Just requires a little bit straighter of technique. You can't miss strike on it, or you can. It'd be easier to miss strike on this harp than it would be on like the Pokin, but you're getting a little bit more output, a little bit more sound, a little bit more sensitivity, better sound too. One way that I like to test harp sounds is play it without applying any technique. No breath, don't move your tongue. I just hold my tongue pretty much in the center. There's Mr. Pickles! What's up, Mr. Pickles on the table? Don't be knocking my harps off now. And we're going to go ahead and apply that technique. Here we have Mr. Pickles is coming. What's up, Mr. Pickles? You be walking on my harps. Mr. Pickles. This is Mr. Pickles, Attack Cat. Come up here to check out the harp read. But anyways, back to what I was talking about earlier about seeing what the natural sound in your mouth of your harp is. Like this Szilagyi Chancellor, applying no technique, just with tongue in center. Sounds like a ringing bell. Here we have the Pokin. Let's see what its natural sound is. The gaps are slightly uneven, just by a little bit, so that gives it that row body outer space vibe. This has a little bit purer sound, the Szilagyi Chancellor in D. Closer to that ringing bell. But yeah, I do like the Szilagyi Chancellor. It plays very well, especially for a beginner. If you want to spend a little bit more money, an extra $15, get yourself a Szilagyi Chancellor. It'll allow you a little bit more room to grow as well, but there's nothing by any means wrong with the Pokin. And if you get the cases off the wall here, these Pokins, I don't know if they've changed the cases at all. And it comes with this case here. I bought it right before I went to Oregon for the first time. And put it in your pocket, it doesn't damage your harp. I think you can find them on Oberton Pro, their direct Russian website, for like 10 bucks, like that. But let's get back to the Chancellor. And it's not going to be as pure as like the Blackfires. Let's see what a Blackfire's natural sound is. Mr. Pickles is up here again. It's very much like a ring bell. Let's try another Blackfire. Mr. Pickles is intent on showing everybody his behind. Let's try it. Let's see what the natural sound. And my alarm went off about 8 minutes ago. Hi, Cooper Lizelle. My alarm for my harps that I'm doing finishing and tempering to, all that's timed, went off about 10 minutes ago. So I need to go. There's some other steps I need to go to prepare my harps for finishing up tomorrow. So I'll be doing that here in just a minute. But let's test one of my favorite harps, a Masco Average in D sharp. What does it sound like? Do we get a ringing bell out of it? Very crisp ringing bell. All the gaps are absolutely straight, proportional, very clean. And this harp, they're in about the $60 price range, if you can find them, is really sharp sounding and is really loud, really responds to breath and breathing. You can almost get those harmonica-like harmonics out of it. Which I don't play a harmonica, but it feels like that when you're playing it, or sounds like it. It's another thing I like about this harp. It's got a stiffer reed, but all the gaps are tight, so it still responds well to breath and breathing, and you can get that drum beat really nicely out of there. And I'm just kind of punching a light exhale and drumming my finger. I'm not trying to directly touch the reed. I'm taking and slapping it up against the frame, and the vibrating reed will slap your finger. It's easier to slap the frame than it is to slap the reed. You can slap the reed, but you got to do it with just the tip. That's me just touching the reed. Here's me slapping the frame. Oh, good night, Mark Sweatout. He says, got to teach in the morning. Yeah, have a good day tomorrow. Then I should go finish what I was doing with my harps, but I'm distracted right now on other harps. I'll give it another minute playing. Need to take the time out. Yeah, he says harmonica reed is actually much like a smaller version of a jaw harp reed. And Andre from Vibeford was talking about that. He says, and I am not an expert on harmonicas, don't know much about them, but he says like the concept of us draw starting the harp where we're pushing our reed out in front of our frame. And he says the inside of a harmonica, there's a whole bunch of little reeds that are bent like that, and they rattle and make noise just like draw starting a harp. So he says that harmonica are just like over in Russia they call them homus, K-H-O-M-U-S. He said that, and they pronounce it homus. Another question, what's the name of the website for the harps? There are lots of websites I go through. Oberton Pro is one of them, mouthmusic.com, guillainbardies.fr, Sound for Health, and danmoy.com are all very good places to order from. If you're here in the U.S. and you want to get harps really fast, like I got this Solagi Blackfire set that I unboxed, and I ordered it 3 days before and then got it here in the U.S. full chromatic set. So it's mouthmusic.com if you're here in the U.S. and you want like Solagi harps or Schluters or something like that really fast. In like 2 to 3 days you can have harps. But yeah, anyways, and the plug. Cooper Lizelle said, how long did it take you to get good? I don't know the definition of good, but in a month of playing, you should be able to get decent songs, decent rhythms. Now, a lot of the times, like when I first started playing, like when I was playing my Solagi Chancellor, I wasn't able, when you first start playing, a lot of times you can't see all the dimensions because you don't know all the techniques and all the ways to link them together. And like when I first started playing on the Chancellor, I was playing simple rhythms slowly. And that's all I could do, and I would just play that, and just play that rhythm, a simple rhythm, and then add a little bit more to it. But there's so much more that's more one-dimensional playing, which that's where you start out playing, is one-dimensional wise. You can only see that one dimension and that couple techniques together, and you can't see, you know, or feel where you're going to be after you practice another technique and how to link them together. So the more you play, the more your mind's going to open up and see more dimensions. Let's start off with a simple rhythm like that when I was a beginner, a simple one-dimensional rhythm, and we're going to start branching off of it and connecting a whole bunch of different techniques together. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Played for too long, my mouth filled up with spit. But yeah, start off playing, you know, your simple rhythms and then branch off that. Most of what I was doing there was variations of that same rhythm that I started out playing. And a lot of the noises, I just learned better ways to link stuff together and better rhythms, and able to see and feel the music in more dimensions than just that first one. But anyways, and Rand, I'm going to play one more harp, then I'm going to go check on my harps that I'm finishing up this evening. I wonder which tuning this is. Ooh, I gotta figure out which tuning this is. I do like that consistency there. I'm open mouth and kind of almost opening my throat and just giving just light puffs of air. Apart from the Hobby Lobby harp, have you dealt with some crappy harps made in China? No, not really. The Grover Alto Austrian might actually be made in China, but that doesn't mean, just because something's made in China doesn't mean that it's lower in quality. Some of my tools I use, I do heating and air work professionally, and a lot of those tools that I use are made in China, and they're every bit as expensive as American-made tools or tools made in Germany or someplace like that. But that doesn't mean that just because something's made in China that it's of lower quality. If you buy something, you know, cheaper that's made in China, you're probably going to have a cheaper result, and I don't know if there's any good Chinese made harps. That is a good question. I'm going to do some research and add a good Chinese harp to my collection, because yeah, I don't even know which brand that would be, but if there's one out there, I want to find it, and I want a good Chinese harp, because as big as China is, it's a huge landmass with tons of people, and I think actually the majority, I'm going horse here, the majority of the people in the world that speak one language are Chinese. I think it's 40% of the world's population speaks Chinese. So surely in China, they probably make some good harps. I know they make some good Japanese harps, but they're very, very expensive, and I don't have the money to try those. And I know Vietnam makes some decent harps, some of them. What website do you get good harps under 20? Probably Oberton Pro. Oh yeah, back to, before I got distracted, back to talking about this one, the light puffs of air. Not all harps respond to that well. This one does. But anyways, I'm like 20 minutes past when my timer went off. I better go check on those. But anyways, y'all, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay good to each other. Like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Harp out.